Hello, my name is Ilona and I want to take a look at Brazil. Apparently there's a new president, Lula da Silva, and I'm sure everyone will understand that there are things being fixed, so to speak, and that the voting system is not correct. The old president, so to speak, Bolsonaro, has so much support that I truly believe something is obviously wrong, and I'm sure the dark energies want to use this as civil unrest. I've actually shared a clip of the army moving towards Rio de Janeiro. So we're just going to see what the energy is of Brazil right now and what's going on. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups as the central card. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in the past. We've got the Two of Wands underneath the central card. We've got the Queen of Swords for the near future. And we have the Four of Swords. This is interesting. I'm just going to get one clarifier. Let's see, the Ten of Swords. For the clarifier for the near future, the future. Lots of confusion, obviously. What's going on? I think that especially with the Ace of Wands, to me this tells me that the white hats are using this to show most likely what's really been going on with the voting systems. I think they're going to use this, and I think the military is going to, at least the white hat part of the military, I'm sure there's still some dark energies there that need to be taken care of. Most likely in the background they are taking care of that now, but this is I think the white hats will use this as a way to step up there and have the military step in, like I've shown the clip that was shared on Telegram, that the military is already moving towards Rio de Janeiro, already there if I'm not mistaken. So they are making sure, I'm sure the white hats are making sure that it doesn't get completely out of hand, but we are going to see clashes happening. That's just unavoidable. So right now there's a lot of confusion. What is going on? What is true? What isn't true? And if this is the new president or not. To me, this feels like this is not really the new president. I think there's going to be, it feels like a stalemate, and especially with these two cards, these are cards that means like standing still. So it almost seems like nothing is happening, but there is so much happening. And especially with this clarifier, it's really about what is true and what isn't true. I think they're going to use this. I think they've got these, the voting, they've got it. They've got all the proof, and they're probably going to use it to, I think a lot of things are going to come out. Scandals are going to come out in Brazil about the system. Of course, a lot of people don't believe this. So they already have, especially the white hat military already have a large group of people behind them, because I don't think no one is believing it, that this is the so-called new president. I'm sure they're trying in the media to create this narrative that he has a humongous support when he does not. Lula da Silva has no support whatsoever. Yeah, he's got the support of the dark energies and of course the voting systems, because they are the ones fooling around with it, but that's it. So I think there's going to be a lot of truth coming out, and ultimately this decision this is like a radical decision. This has to stop. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if the military are going to ultimately step in and show what's been going on. I think we can expect something similar with the midterms coming up in the USA. I think they're going to try to continue it, although the dark energies try to avoid it at all costs. That of course the voting will continue. They are most likely going to mess around with that as well. And I think here in Brazil, I do believe the white hats are trying to take over. I think they are going to get rid of a lot of other dark energies. Like, it's like draining the swamp everywhere, but also in Brazil there are still dark energies there, and they're trying to clear it. But it's very important to see what is true and what isn't true. To me, this feels like they let the dark energies get away with this, so to speak. They're not getting away with it, but it seems like they're going to get away, especially because like nothing is happening. There's a lot of confusion, so it will seem like this is the new president, but I believe that they will step up and they're taking over, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if ultimately the people will, well, not in a way get rid of the president, but this new president, so to speak, has no support whatsoever from the people. There's going to be unrest, but ultimately a decision will be made, and I think it will be in favor of the old president and not this new president, because it's not based on anything. So there's a lot going on here. I also want to take a look at what happened in Seoul in South Korea. There was a celebration of Halloween, which is one of the favorite celebrations for the dark energies. They do a lot of horrific stuff around that period. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if this was planned by the dark energies. There was no crowd control. There were so many people. Awful situation. I think they purposely and you just need a few people to make sure this is happening, unfortunately. Making sure there's barely any crowd control. Make sure there are people in there who are MK Ultra. And of course they will make sure, how to say it, to create panic, to create, that things are stopping. And of course then a lot of victims. Unfortunately there were a lot of victims. So my heart goes out to the victims. People that have lost loved ones in this situation. It's horrific. It wouldn't surprise me at all if it's also somehow connected with the wasp sting, because I've noticed that especially with marathons, when people are exercising or are in a very stressful situation, of course marathon, that's a lot of stress for your body, or any sports that can create a certain, how to say that, energy in your body, that people have reactions even worse, than if they didn't get the wasp sting. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. There were a lot of people with heart attacks, heart problems in this situation, that's connected to the wasp sting. So I'm just going to take a look at the energy there. To me, it felt like this sort of ritual, and the dark energies can feed on, of course, the fear and the stress, and of course what's been happening. Let's see the energy of Seoul. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Two of Wands in the past. We've got the Hermit underneath the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Cups for the future and the High Priestess. I'm just going to get one more what this was about. Yes, wait and see. Well, this was a celebration for them, unfortunately. This was a celebration for them. This was creating a certain situation. It was planned. And it's most likely because they are losing a lot of the children to use for all kinds of things. They need the energy. They use especially mass energy to feed off. And I'm talking really about the fourth dimensional beings. And of course, they are part of these bloodlines. And they feed off energy of fear, of death. They are a death cult. So they feed off this. And they're losing their supply, so to speak. They're losing the other ways of, to perform these rituals that they usually would do around this time. I think the Whiteheads have cleaned up a lot of things. So they've created this as sort of their ritual, and this is horrific. This is very spiritual for them, unfortunately. This is what they believe in. This is how they view things. They see people as pawns in their in their way of living. They just use them. They use the energy, and it's a bit difficult to explain, although I'm sure a lot of people that are working with energies will understand that this creates a massive, fearful collective energy. So all these people being, stuck in this awful situation, cannot get out, you're falling, people are falling above you, there's panic, there's stress, people are, cannot breathe anymore. There's this, that creates a very low vibration, like this sort of cloud, so to speak. And that's where they tap into. They unfortunately have a lot of knowledge of the occult, of the spiritual side of things. So this is really a spiritual procedure that they did this. This is a spiritual ritual. They have a lot of knowledge that doesn't make them spiritually enlightened. Just because someone has a lot of knowledge and understands how energy works doesn't mean that this person is actually a good person or uses it in a good way. You kind of just can, how do you say this? Compare it to like Star Wars with the Force. The Force is neutral and it's how you use it. You have the Sith, of course, and you have the Jedi. It's how you use it that it gets destructive, and in a very destructive manner, or it can become a very constructive energy. And that's really what we need to understand, that this is a spiritual, this is about energy, this is about our energy. That's why it's so important to deal with your own energy, because the more you are aware of your own energy, the less other people, entities can hook into your energy and use it for their own agendas. And they've used this. This is done on purpose, unfortunately. I think this is really planned this way. They needed something for a sacrifice and they've picked this place apparently. And it wouldn't surprise me if there are more things happening the past weekend that more sort of these horrific things happening, because this is a very important time for them and they need that energy to create. It starts in the energy. You have to understand that this world is based on energy, and from there we create what's around us. And they needed a lot of fearful energy to feed off, because this is a celebration for them. This is truly a celebration. How horrific this may seem, but this is a celebration for them. And they needed that. That's why they've created this. I truly believe this is with has to do with the dark energies, unfortunately. And we just have to wait and see what will come out of this. I do have a feeling that more things are going to come out about this, but unfortunately, this is how they work. And just because they have so much knowledge, they understand the spiritual world in a way better than most people do, doesn't mean that they are enlightened, doesn't mean that they are good people. Unfortunately, they can use it for horrific things, which they have been doing for now, and they probably use this energy for something else as well. They know how to harness it, so they know how to feed. They use it to feed on, and they use it to harness it to create something else somewhere else. So I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.